log. Oh, the log lasts. Okay, let's head to the secret room. So, that
We're
was...
hiding the computer.
No. Oh, yeah, you're right. We're connecting it to the internet, or the network.
Yeah.
So, I don't remember... Oh, there it is. It's that back. Remember? Hey, Makoto. Are you sure all the documents are gone? I refuse to believe you. Go and check again.
What?
Just hurry up and go. And to make sure you don't run off, I'm gonna wait right here.
Oh, I get it. She's acting. She was so forceful, I thought I'd made her mad again somehow.
Why are you just standing there? Hurry up and go.
Okay, I'm going.
And be thorough. I'm counting on you.
There's still some documents. Okay, first we have to find a network cable. Drawer. According to Kyoko, there should be a bunch of cables in this drawer. Found it. This is a network cable, right? Now we just have to connect. Oh, there you go.
It's funny. I
Immediately
saw...
got to work.
Did you see the new OLED switch?
Yeah.
One of their big selling points is that the Switch dock now has a LAN cable connector.
I think this may be a misfire for them.
Is
that just like a really nice screen?
Yeah, that's all. It's a really nice screen. It's a better stand. Instead of that little thing, it's like the size of the whole length of the back, and it's adjustable. So it's not just one.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. I mean,
Not really.
How often do you set up your little screen and play with the stand anyway?
I just don't know how you're going to get Switch owners to rebuy it for these features.
This would mostly be new people,
They should have had a 4K or something, or whatever people like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, sure, it looks good, but yeah. Okay, anyway.
I pulled up the laptop and connected to the Ethernet port with the cable. Ethernet. Well, and that should do it.
Yeah, I think it worked. Just leave the rest to me. I swear I'll find something. I might even be able to connect to the outside world. If I can, I'll see if I can call for help. So please, just wait a little while longer. Just hold tight and put your faith in me.
So I was about to leave. I decided to leave him with one last thing. No matter what, we're going to get you out of here, you and all the rest of us, as friends.
Friends? Even me? Thank you. Thank you, Makoto. How'd it go?
Well, it went okay, but all the documents were gone, just like I told you. My reply was an unintentional mix of acting and real feelings.
I see. Then there's nothing left for us here. Goodbye.
Before I knew it, Kyoko was walking away. She wasn't acting anymore, that much was for sure. Kyoko.
Yes?
So we're just gonna split up?
Of course. I have no reason to stay with you at this point.
Well, maybe, but isn't that a little too direct?
Should I hesitate and fumble for something to say? You're so high maintenance.
That's not what I meant. I just had more I want to talk to you about, like, what are you going to do about Sakura?
Well, something has to be done, it's true. But the way things are right now, there's no way to persuade anyone. They don't have the mind to listen.
And what should we do? Or what should we?
If we can find some new clue, that would likely change the situation. That's all we can hope for right now.
Which is why Alter Ego...
All we can do is wait and believe in our friends.
You're right. That's our only option. We parted ways and I headed back to my room.
I have it on the... They tell you to do like the slowest possible drip to get all the stuff out of the filter for the first few fills. So.
Oh, you're changing the filter.
Changing the filter, yeah.
I'm kind of tired. So I laid down in bed. Maybe it's because of the stress of moving Alter Ego, but I was way more tired than I realized. So before long at all... I completely dozed off. Dot, 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 dot. Body announcement? Huh? The sharp sound of the doorbell pierced my sleepy haze and pulled me back to the real world. This can't be good. Rattle.
Makoto, get out here.
Kyoko, what's going on?
Hina just came to see me, and she was white as a ghost. It sounds like something's happening.
What? As soon as I heard those words, my heart started to beat a little faster. I suddenly found myself wide awake.
She said for us to come to the rec room.
The rec room? Okay, let's hurry. Oh, shit. Oh.
Makoto! Kyoko!
Hina, what's wrong?
Something's not right. In the rec room.
What's inside? There's a window on the rec room door. I hurried to look inside. And when I did... Sakura? Is she unconscious? She's sitting up in the chair like she's bowing her head.
What's going on? Did something happen to her? I was just walking past and I happened to notice her through the window. But I couldn't get the door open. I tried knocking. I tried calling her name. But she wouldn't respond. So what should we do? What are we gonna do? First of all, we need to get into that room.
But the door's locked, right? And if we break in, we'll be violating school regulations.
We're going to force our way in.
I just said...
The door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room doesn't have a lock.
Then why...
It feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Is it a chair?
Chair?
Either way, this door isn't locked, which means as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply.
And there's no problem if we break in.
Let's smash the window. That should be the fastest way. Okay, I'll go get something to break it with. Wait right here.
Inside the rec room, Sakura still hasn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, Sakura, so I'm sure... Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence. That silence didn't last long.
Here! I found a broom in the classroom. Use it. You can handle this, right, Makoto? Come on, please hurry.
Okay, you two stand back. I took hold of the broom and swung it as hard as I could. Aiming directly at the window, all it took was one solid hit. Crash. The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the now open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair's pretty heavy, but if I can just... I pushed it on it with all my strength, and finally the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could. But the moment I laid my hand on her... all I felt was cold death. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body, and then... the
body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. Going back to the southern twinge on Danganronpa. Huh? Sakura's dead? She's really dead?
I heard him talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. Chloe, look on. It's Sakura's dead body.
We didn't make it in time. It's happened again.
Uttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming Sakura was really dead, checking for a pulse or a reaction?
I have to go get them. I have to go get the others.
On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. And why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again.
I need to examine Sakura's body.
I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long,
I got everyone. Ugh, ogre. Oh, so she's dead, huh? Sakura's been killed. I see.
as soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you were going to say? No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room. It was one of you! Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, one of you killed Sakura! What? You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything, because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it, I know it!
You know it?
Oh, fuck. Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. That's right, it's the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that
Hold on. There's something I want to ask you.
Huh?
It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura.
Huh?
Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again, and then...
Then I killed her. Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, and God for that, saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. Gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So I don't know who it was, but whoever the Blackened is this time, I owe you one. You owe them one. Oopsie. Before you all get all pissy-potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. 'Cause I mean, your lives are all on the line, right? What the hell? He owes them one? I hate him! I hate this whole thing! Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all.
How can you say that now?
Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura. Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it.
Hina?
I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura. Okay, then Hina is guard number one, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you. Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order.
An order?
Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on! Before that, there's something I want to say. Which is... Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What? One of you killed Sakura. I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her. Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise? I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway. Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro, do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care? Then it's decided. Nothing's decided. I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But we have to find out who killed Sakura, for those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body? That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer, all of us face execution.
Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. Better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death was estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Alright, she was poisoned, I think.
I think the case this time might be a challenge.
What's that?
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through, and that door had been jammed shut with the chair from inside the rec room, which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door.
But the door was blocked from the inside, and there's no way in or out till we broke the window. There's like zero escape, right?
In other words, this is a classic locked room murder.
Locked room murder? You can see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But if it really happened in real life, and right before our very eyes like this?
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails?
Sure, if you don't mind.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime and then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations.
So for all that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed.
Oh.
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through the gap in the door, something like that. But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it.
Yeah, I think we'll probably cross that one off the list.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up.
What do you mean by that?
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that.
Sounds like it could have been possible, maybe.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all.
Not a locked room?
By that I mean, there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible.
Do you think we can cross that one off too?
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics.
So there are 4 possibilities. In Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
That's a good question. Answering that should be the primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say.
I see. The way the killer set up the locked room, until I figured that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. Definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Ooh, what's this? That stuff like some kind of wrapper.
Ah, that's...
You recognize it, Nina?
Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little.
So you gave that candy to Sakura?
I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them.
You really like them that much?
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor.
Nina. Huh, the locker's open and there is on the inside. It's a handprint.
What's a handprint doing here?
So someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in all the dust.
And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker, and they left behind a little something extra.
So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locker room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group. Excuse me.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility.
Oh, why not?
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right?
Well, yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door.
Yeah, so then, what's this handprint mean? There were shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. Glass shards. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how they get those figures inside the bottles.
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle.
Huh?
You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside. You've never seen that?
Oh yeah, maybe I have.
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will.
I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass probably started out of the bottle. It means Sakura must have been hit in the head with the Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Oh, she's definitely poisoned. No?
Well, we know from the Monokuma file, she vomited up blood, and she was hit in the head.
Yeah,
so
both.
Multiple things were involved.
That same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. There's a bloodstain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Sakura drew her last breath, sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of a blow to the head, Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her, but according to the Monokuma file, she also had vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what could have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood?
Not a chance.
Yakuya.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location.
Interesting.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree?
No, I don't think you call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died.
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It has to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto?
Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more.
Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room.
What?
After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon.
By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then.
I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. She wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, but she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened.
Hina. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying. It might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly.
But for Sakura had been killed.
She's not the type who would go down without a fight.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand?
Must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly. They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. What do you want? You're bothering me.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Make it quick.
Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room?
So, you found out. Interesting.
Then it's true.
I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster?
So you didn't go see her?
Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all.
Yakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, this account. Press stop. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used in the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Oh. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty.
Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. She mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you.
I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Pt10. It reminds me of Sakura mentioned how the chem lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the chem lab.
But that's strange.
Huh? What is it?
You see what's scattered around the can?
Shards of light blue glass. They must have touched the window I broke to get inside.
But they aren't just scattered around the can. they're also underneath it.
Why does that matter?
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on.
Someone dropped it after. It's an important clue, I'm not sure I see how. Empty protein. It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to Monocle's file, Sakura died around 12 noon, so roughly an hour ago. Is that when Kyoko and I were moving alter ego? Why does this guy really fell asleep at me? This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of spring or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening, and there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside. The rec room door.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation?
Yeah, I think so for the most part.
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave. Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place.
If you decided, she's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. She's right, I have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Other 2 preliminary things. I press the doorbell. Ding dong. And after a few seconds.
Huh? Who's there?
The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
You're back to normal. Transite Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood. Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Now a bad time. Obviously, Noi Toko slithered into the hall.
What do you want? You said you wanted to talk to me about something?
Let's talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yakuto already told me she has to meet with him.
What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said 2, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. So can you tell me about it?
I admit, I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go.
Toko claims she didn't go to see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room.
That Toko quickly retreated into her room. Toko's account has been activated. I press the doorbell, and after a few seconds...
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something?
Yeah, actually, I just want to check something. It's about about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
How would you know about that? Ugh, did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too.
What? When did Sakura tell you that?
Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course.
But didn't she write you a note?
Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing.
I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. Then you went and met with Sakura.
No way! I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that?
Yeah, definitely suspicious.
The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt, and I took her to the nurse's office. I haven't seen her since then.
While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you?
Oh, do I still have it? Let's see.
Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
Sorry, looks like I don't have it anymore.
With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out.
Trash.
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me...
Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What's next? Definitely to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab, so where should I start? Chem lab. Yeah. I can't believe there's a fifth floor. I feel like we've barely utilized all the rooms on the fourth floor for murders.
Yeah, because a lot of them are locked.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the chem labs involved, so...
Makoto.
Did you have your eye on the chem lab, too? Just make sure you don't get in my way.
Yeah, got it.
I think what you meant to say was, yes, sir, I understand.
Big spill. This isn't my first time seeing the shell, but I can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shells have been connected together to make one giant shell. But more important right now, what's that powder that's still in front of the shell? I have to be careful not to step in it. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? Looks like the bottle had a label on it, MT4.
Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this.
And this powder must have been spilled.
That's right. It could only have been around the time of the incident.
If that really is what happened, it must be related to the case. Source of the powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I better not leave a footprint. Oh. These are footprints, and they're only in front of the left shelf.
How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan.
By we, you mean me?
How kind of you to offer.
With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
Well, let's go. Chop chop.
Okay. So I got to working before long. I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. So how's this?
Not bad. For you, I mean.
Me?
So, when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I don't think so, man.
These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours?
No.
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
I think there's a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya had said.
I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints.
Unfortunately.
But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to.
These prints are a really valuable clue. Probably take a good hard look at the powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder showing on the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. I think it's repeating. It's just repeating. Based on the positioning of the prints, okay. I don't think... I think someone could have gone to the right shelf and then spilled it.
So that was different, those last couple lines, I think.
According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. On the shelf is, one look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. It looks like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit section C. So on this shelf is, it looks like a bunch of chemicals. I have no idea what they are.
They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss.
Isn't that kind of harsh?
What? You think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of a lifelong loser, which, I suppose, suits you well.
You didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter D and a number, so I guess you can consider this part of the shelving unit section D. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here, in which case I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. Let's see, what's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number, so I guess we can consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait. There's only one bottle here that's labeled Chem-C9. Did someone have put it here on accident? I should try to find out more about the shelving unit. Looks like it's split into three sections. Section A is dietary supplements, Section B is reagents, and Section C is physical chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. What concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with the label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. Okay. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. All the way around. Did they have warping in the original, do you know? Or did they add that?
I would assume they probably had it. So Makoto, how's your investigation going?
I told Tokyo what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see. So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying.
Someone's lying.
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These three things have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time.
According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered about Sakura's body.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out.
Well, yeah, I know, but...
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it.
Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I'd grown perversely used to, although there were still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
That's totally normal.
And how can you...
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past.
What?
Sorry, never mind. More importantly, look here.
Her shoes.
You see that yellow powder on her instep?
Yeah, it really stands out.
That powder is clue number 1.
Hey.
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
It's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just explain. It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head.
2 blows.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing. Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one. So, that's what I learned from examining her body in detail.
but I'll keep it myself. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. The bottle was the other one?
The bottles and the magazine rack.
I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new, something new.
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it.
We have a pawn, a rook, a bishop, a king, and a queen, but it's missing a knight and a queen. Two bottles missing. Hey Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
I don't mind guiding you toward clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions, so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome.
It's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer?
I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with.
Only to a degree.
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right?
It's an experiment.
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces, too.
Are you sure it's going to mess with crime scene like that?
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here, so... Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass.
That quickly left the room. I really don't know what this thing's about, but what choice do I have? I better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up...
Sorry to keep you waiting. Is everything ready? Then let's get to work.
So what kind of experiment are we doing?
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights.
Compare the weights of what?
The pieces of glass you collected, and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact.
Why do you want to do that?
That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done. First, let's compare the weight of 2 of the normal Monokuma bottles.
Balanced.
Which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same.
Makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else can really affect the weight.
Now, here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see?
Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collect will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
Okay, then let's give it a try.
The broken pieces are heavier? How's that possible?
Just as I thought.
What?
The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles. Put it all together. And I believe you'll arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you.
Circle said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think?
Yeah, you're right. I'll pick up the inverted magazine and flip through it. This is on one of the pages. Near the center of the magazine, a word has been written in bold, bloody letters. It said Coco. Could this be a dying message?
Then it would appear you've found it.
Coco, is this?
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it.
Dying message.
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that says Coco, right?
Mm-hmm. Looks like it.
Then she's the killer, right?
Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer.
I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Alright, let me use the bed.
Oops! You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring. I couldn't stay awake.
Is it okay? Can I?
Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. Hoo-hoo-hoo, see you soon.
Is this safe good to use now?
Yeah.
It's already time. The mystery of the locker room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Yeah, photos ready.
Yeah, we've all settled into our roles, right?
Oh, 1 second. I'm gonna call Alien back.
Okay.
Where's it?
almost got up to genius.
On the same list?
Yeah, I'm up to amazing. It's only one. It's one puzzle per day.
Oh.
I got. Let's see.
How many letters?
Cordial, accord, radial. You just 7 letters. You can do more. You can repeat
Did
letters.
you get acrid?
Yeah.
Did you get?
Yeah, if you want to see. Yeah. Chord, acrid, corridor, cordial. Cordial is the pentagram. There's at least one pentagram in every puzzle. Cordial's pretty good. But, yeah, there are more, because genius is 149 points, and I'm only at 117.
Huh.
So I'm not quite there, but...
Alright, trial?
Make progress. Yeah. You want a snack, or does your coffee curb your appetite?
What do you got?
Well, I got some cheese, I got some chips, I got some carrots and hummus, I got some old, it's a few days old, my mom's bean salad.
What's your cheese situation?
We have some Clarina Gouda.
I think I have that in my house.
Yeah,
Sale at Whole Foods?
We always get the whatever is on sale at Whole Foods.
Alright, I will have a single cube of cheese and maybe some carrots. I don't really eat hummus.
Okay.
Sometimes I go through hummus phases.
Oh, I have bananas also, although they've been in the fridge and they're starting to get frigidified.
I had a banana earlier.
Maybe I'll have a banana. They're always a little weird coming out of the fridge, but what can you do? Okay, and carrots. Those are somewhere. Yeah, there you go.
Oh shit, you're truly prepping them.
Well, what, am I going to give you a raw carrot? I'm crap.
I thought you meant like baby carrots.
No. Cut you up a little some carrot pieces.
Alright.
No problem.
Alright, respect.
Pretty minimal as far as preparation goes. Not even going to do that much for you. Normally I would cut it up into strips for dipping, but since you're not dipping it in anything,
Thank you.
you get cylindrical pieces.
Well, I can tolerate that.
See how my refrigerated carrot or bananas.
All right.
Do you ever do, I assume not, the New York Times crossword puzzle?
I went through a phase of being into it.
Doing it? Okay. I can't do them past Thursday. I mean, I finished them.
Yeah, I mean,
They get too hard. Monday's very easy. Tuesday is doable. Wednesday's hard, and I just can't finish a Thursday puzzle.
I can usually fill out a good amount Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I never really finish them.
Oh, really?
No, I sometimes lose interest
Okay.
or
The Monday ones are easy. Like, I can, in less than a half hour, do a Monday puzzle. Like, pretty...
fast.
Yeah. I mean, the Monday puzzles are not hard, I don't think. Especially once you're in the flow of doing them. The other ones, it can be harder. Like, I can't always finish the Wednesday puzzle, but I often can. But I don't think I've ever even come close on a Thursday, let alone Friday or Saturday. Have you ever tried the Saturday puzzle? It's brutal.
I used to have a book.
It's really, really brutal.
Maybe I'll get another one. It's not a bad idea.
The app is great.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to subscribe.
In the city, Ben, our roommate and I would project
On the
wall.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I did them with my dad sometimes. My dad is just too good at them.
Yeah.
He had some, like, I think it got broken because when he was in the hospital and couldn't do them. But he had some, like, 100-day plus streak. And you have to do it on the day,
Did
too.
you ever go to the ping pong hall to do the competitions?
No. But he was good. He was good at them. Have you ever seen that documentary?
Is it about Will Schwartz?
It's just about the competitions over the crossword puzzles. I mean, I'm sure Will Shortz was in it. It was like mid-2000s. It was a Burns movie.
I think the ping pong club and Will Schwartz might quietly be the most eccentric parts of Pleasantville.
Oh, yeah.
I also think there's foreign people who are like staying and training at the club.
At the ping pong club, so they have like athletes in residence.
You'll see like really tall, athletic-looking people there who are like in their 20s or 30s, and you're like, I don't think you are from, like, I think you're here specifically for this.
Maybe. I mean, how many places like that are there?
I know he had someone from China or maybe South Korea living with him who was training.
I think with ping pong, it's fun, but I think I handicapped myself because the way I learned to play is...
Like tennis?
I think I have a low percentage game style. Which means that just up to a certain level, when I play people who like do the correct grip,
Yeah.
I just can't win. I hit it very low over the net. It's just low percentage. You get it with tennis. I realize about it myself now, and it's like it's too late to change. I'm just, whatever. It's fun, but okay. Your snack good? All right. Look how few people there are. Sakura was a big present too, so.
Monokuma made his announcement, and everyone began to meet up one after another. And then...
The ultimate martial artist! A lock-through murder mystery! What the? Oh, I just recently discovered the power of emoticons! Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive. For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. This is just plain creepy. And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if If you put a sad face, it makes it look super negative. For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right. That does make it seem sad. Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see y'all down there. What the hell was that? I don't get it. I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone? I don't think I'm acting casual. I mean, I didn't murder anyone. Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer? Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit.
The killer, the one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know, and yet somehow someone killed her. And that person is here? That person is one of us? Come on, it's time to put an end to this. I made my way toward the elevator, but with each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through with this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the doors close, and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. We fell lower and lower, and as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again.
Just the 6 of you, huh? Really? That's so few. You must be so lonely.
You say that like it's not your fault we're always left.
I wonder, will the class trial end with one less classmate again, or will your school life come to an end completely? Now then, are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats.
So the curtain opened for the 4th time. Really? Only 4? A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly class trial.
Yeah, only 4. So you should have.
Mm-hmm.
That's only 8. Oh. That one. You'll have to take some things off. So.
Alright, let's just try this now.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So your votes will determine the result. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened. And the one that deceived everyone will graduate. Now then, where to begin? We already know who did it. Whoa, deja vu. The one who killed Sakura. It's one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you. Idiot. I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, I never killed someone. No way. I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
It really seems sure that one of those 3 is the killer. But you must have some reason for believing that. Why are there hieroglyphs on the wall? Oh,
yeah. It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura. And what reason do you have for saying so? Because you all had a motive. You hated her. Is that it? That doesn't make any sense. That's the only reason you have for accusing us? That's low. That's about as low as you can get.
I can hit that.
No, that's wrong.
I always, because I see the C, and it makes me want to say something else, and I can't figure it out, then I end up saying nothing. Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those three killed her.
I can't disagree with you, there's good reason to suspect all three of them. Does that mean one of them did it?
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three of them, there's no way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty. I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her. I didn't either. Same here. I never saw her. No, that's wrong.
Yo, that's wrong. Hero, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What? What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura. No, it's ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hero, where did you get that?
From Sakura. It's the only explanation.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, I got it from her, but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
When? When did she give it to you?
Last time we saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before that.
But what Hero said can't be right. Because Sakura could only have gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. And as I know that is... I've got it! I'm not sure about that, Hero. Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy until after she left the nurse's office. So, if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Damn it! I mean, what I meant was, Oh, that's right. I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything. You gotta believe me.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
More hostility.
It's not just normal hostility. You're the real culprit. I even have proof.
Huh? Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about her shining message.
Shining message even be.
At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right? It was her dying message, just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
That's true. I saw it for myself.
See? See? Toko did it.
What are you saying? No way. I didn't do it.
You just don't know when you're beat, do you?
Hero, hold on. When did you see that dying message of hers?
Huh? Well, when we found Ogre's body, duh.
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime. So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Hold on. When Kyoko found the magazine with the dying message in it, it was... Wait. Yeah. Got it. Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we've started the investigation.
If that's true, then what Hero just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense.
There's definitely something strange about it. Kyoko found the dying message during the investigation, in which case, that clearly contradicts what Hero told us.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
So this was that message when we first found the body. At that time, where was the magazine? I'm forgetting. But not this.
You could keep R1 held the whole time. Let it go.
Is it? No, it's that first one, I think. It's that dude who I said, if you just not know what you're doing, think about one more time. There must be some time for that. No, it's the last thing, I guess.
Well, remember.
Or I can pull.
You don't always have
Let me look at it all again. How do you do it?
old time. Remember, you need to figure out what the contradiction is.
Oh, yeah, okay, I know
And
that.
then what, you know, like the whole.
What's wrong?
When
Sakura's body was found. That magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it after we'd begun the investigation. And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then. Yeah. Tell us the truth here. When did you see the message?
Hold on! You're focusing on the wrong part. Why does it matter when I saw it? All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who the killer is. Toko!
I don't even know where to begin with that one. He's just trying to confuse us. Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
Yeah. I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100%, without a doubt she wrote it. And this is me talking, so you know it's true.
Without a doubt? No, I actually do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote the message.
Oh, this is the rhythm game.
So how do you do it?
X to highlight the message, triangle to fire. And then square to reload your bullets at the beginning. Or at the bottom. If you need to do it. And you gotta do it all in rhythm. I think also it's like R1 is like star power basically. Like when they do this. I think it's R1. You gotta fire before they get too big. Pop. I didn't even know what. Read what the contradiction.
Hard. I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote the dying message, because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger, but both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Say what?
Then who did write it?
No,
Oh,
whatever.
Then who did write it? Hiro could very well have written it himself. That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Ah, he admits it? I figured as much.
why would you write something like that?
Because I killed her.
You're admitting to killing her?
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said. You just did exactly as the note asked. What a fool. And when I got there... Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Oh, sure, thanks. And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something. This is it. I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end everything. As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was going to try and kill me. She was going to kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out, and then... I saw my only chance. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table, and I ran away. I can't believe you. You're the worst. I hope you die. Well, that's what happened. Go ahead, roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
You're not gonna get off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura. We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it.
No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain, and until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
So what is it that Hiro did that doesn't make sense? What he would have had to do after writing the message, it doesn't make sense.
Well, it wouldn't be that strange for Toko to kill someone at random, right? She's the perfect fall girl.
Don't think your suffering is over when you die. I want you to taste all the flavors of eternal pain.
Anyway, that's not the point I was trying to make.
I embarrassed myself. Oops. Got it. That's true. Everything you just said doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it?
Huh?
At the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message and stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh, well, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying. He's gotta be lying.
I don't see any reason he would lie now after already confessing to the crime.
Then he's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf. In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident. I don't think there's any question about that.
Then who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
Someone who wouldn't like what had been written. There's only one choice. Got it. It'd have to be Toko, right?
What?
Well, that's the one I have in the magazine. I'll give him the person's name is written on it.
Is he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room? Why would I have? Wait, but more important, it doesn't even matter. We already know who did it, right? Hiro just admitted it.
That's right. I killed him.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with a bottle, but that's not where this case ends.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious. That's just, I don't believe it.
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer. So, what do you want me to do? Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura. I don't really see why, but okay.
We haven't reached the end of the case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer, and I can prove that. Remember what's Kyoko's examination summary?
You can look this stuff up. I can either start or the touchpad. I grabbed Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit over from behind before she could do anything. You hit her from behind, and you only hit her once. Is that right? Yeah, just once.
Got it. Oh, that's wrong.
No.
Sakura died from Hiro's
Sakura died from Hiro's single blow. That doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
Huh? 2? That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head. And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her. But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds? 2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle. Hold on! How can you know just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles? It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about those bottles. Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right? And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground along with the chest piece inside it.
That was the bottle Hiro said Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing. But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles? That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
Correlation between the Monokuma bottle to the concern. The action must be the object of the Monokuma figures inside each bottle's holder. Chess piece. Oh, wait, can you only hit it at the end? I find it hard to, like, play some of these games. Oh, man.
I think you can slow down time in that game, just like in a non-stop debate.
Oh, you
I
can?
think you can. Your stars are how much you can slow down.
Oh, you have to go one at a time.
You gotta go all the way to the end.
What's the name? Complete. That's it, the chess pieces. Inside each bottle there's a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece. King, rook, bishop, pawn, I definitely remember seeing each of those. And the piece that was inside the broken bottle found was the knight, if I remember.
So, what's that matter? I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight. Oh, so the queen is missing.
We only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while one apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Yeah, wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No, it's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Take the bottle that was missing. Got it. The bottle must have been broken.
What makes you so sure?
So there's evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right, we found evidence that shows that there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
It wasn't just a single broken bottle, and the evidence that proves that is Cook and I pointed out before. Got it. Earlier, Cook and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle piece at the scene with one of the unbroken bottles. What we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier, and the reason for that is there was actually more than one bottle for the shattered glass.
What?
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces, which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
But why would they have to try to get rid of it like that anyway?
So what do we reveal about the case? There can only be no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been used by... Got it. The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered the second glove. Wouldn't you agree, Toko?
What?
And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Wait, I admit maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am. Plus, I just remembered something that proves it. Okay, fine. Let's hear it. It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early, you know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room.
You did.
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
The locker.
And you just now decided to share that with us? After the shock of thinking I killed someone, I forgot all about it. Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose. So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
What? Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous. Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
No, it's not ridiculous at all. I need proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room, and I have it. She left it there for anyone to find. The element is that to pull it from No, you have to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. And to choose the proper truth bullet to use during your coup de grace. Select it the same way you do the non-stop technique. Okay. You're about halfway through the game now. Huh. Not a lot of people left for being halfway through.
Yeah, I don't know if
That's totally
accurate, but...
Oh, this thing.
Yeah. And what they're saying is that at the very end, where you just shot off the bullet without even thinking, this time you have to choose the right option.
Game's actually pretty forgiving. Yeah.
You take damage though when they blow up like that. Yeah, you don't exactly have to be on tempo.
Okay, so I just select it. Yeah.
Hiding in the rec room, don't be ridiculous.
What's wrong? Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker? They must have been hiding in there with their hand on the wall without thinking. Does this handprint look familiar, Coco?
No, it doesn't. Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear up everything, right? Yeah! Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
It's my handprint.
Okay, it's my handprint. Dang, she just straight up admitted it. Then you killed Sakura? No, I swear there's no way. Out with it. I probably did kill her. Straight up again. Wait, what do you mean probably? Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura? Talk now. After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on. So I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker. Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her? Yes. I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message. Well, that's awkward. So, after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
Well, you did. You put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry. Imbeciles. All of you. Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura? After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me, like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there was Sakura, covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw that blood, I fainted, right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you have to ask her.
Her, you mean?
Achoo! Haha, guess who's back? It was your fault after all? My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights. Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura? Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories, so I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit, I wondered? So I opened my eyes to see. Splatter everywhere. I was not prepared for that, and well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible. No, she's terrible. Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever. And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you? I wasn't about to die for some woman. If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master. Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it. But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me.
Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack no problem. Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack. Hey, come on, that's, But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre, so that's good.
That's good. You're talking like that, and Hina's kinda...
Well then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
Huh? I thought for sure you'd have some worse with Hiro on that one.
What's wrong? Come on, everyone. We're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
No.
No, not quite yet. Huh? Not yet. Why not yet? Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed. Odd, huh? Hiro's attack, and then Toko's. But that still wasn't the end of it.
It wasn't.
Tell your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about. Your wish is my command, darling.
It's not over yet, is it? The one who took Sakura. Maybe Hina. Was the poison that killed her then? That happened after all that.
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden Sakura was right in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood, so you smashed your head in with a Monokuma bottle.
You got it, I smashed her good.
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her in front of the shelf.
This is that last thing that's wrong. That's wrong. We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair? No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
This has to be it. The evidence that proves there was an attack in front of the magazine stuff. Status of her body.
Status of her body?
Wanna
look through that?
Yeah, scroll down. Oh wait, we're evidence that proves that there... Oh yeah. Got it. Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The bloodstain by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end? But... Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained.
Alright.
I'm ready.
Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled. Oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Coco just hid in the locker again.
Huh? So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group?
No, I don't think that's possible. The reason there's no way Coco was hiding in the locker is because the locker was...
I was in the...
Got it. Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Tina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open, so obviously Coco couldn't have been hiding there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
Tina, man, it's fucked up.
But, if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head. And...
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Would we really be missing something so important? There's another possible explanation, maybe
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than a shot to her head.
Come on, Makoto, don't come up now. I need to think about it one more time. Let's get contradictions. I got it. That's wrong. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's chances she's related to her cause of death. In fact, there's even trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottle, she cut the inside of her mouth. But that's all it was. The file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth. You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies. No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body, most likely. Sakura was poisoned.
Poison?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake. Ah, you're making me go all weak in the knees. She was poisoned. It is impossible. Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her. You can explain it? Of course, if you don't mind. Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point. There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it will still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In Section B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals. And that's where the poison came from, Section C? Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Bottle of poison Byakuya just showed us. I'm sure I know where he got it. On the same shelf as supplements, I'm positive. Got it. Poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? But you just said the Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so why?
Because the culprit switched it out, that's why. What do you mean? I mean this.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Byakuya put the bottle of poison to his lips, and
Huh? Master?
we were so shocked at what we were seeing, all we could do was stand there and watch. As if it were the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was as calm as ever.
Ugh, that tastes awful. Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water. You can't just swallow powder. It'll stick to your throat.
Idiot! He just swallowed poison. We need to make him spit it out.
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein.
Can I see that bottle for a second? Ah, sure. Do whatever you like.
Yoko took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of the contents with one finger. She touched the finger to her tongue.
It's protein powder. Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes me wonder. The poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottle of poison actually filled with protein powder. And conversely, the poison must have been in the food.
Hang on, stand it again. Calm down.
Got it. The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So, the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Something at the scene. Got it. You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison. What?
But all it took to kill Sakura, that's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death. You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing. But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know who exactly swapped the mixtures. For real? Who was it? Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
That shows the switch that has to be. Must be what we found inside of the shelf. Got it. The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving the footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now, then we'll see who...
It was me.
It was me.
Yeah, it was.
The footprints.
They're mine.
They're mine.
Hina.
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know? Then Ogre's killer was... Yup, I did it. I killed Sakura. Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistake. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Sneakers. The only people who wear sneakers here are... Frodo. Got it. Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Gyaki. Yeah, explains why you...
Those footprints must be Makoto. Are they yours? If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility. Just Hina. Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the boat, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
Can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? You did. Why would you do that?
I found her, there in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden. Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poison mixture. And then she downed it all at once. And then... Hold it. I'm not convinced. You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so calm. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself. You say that, but I'm still not convinced. How many times do you plan to repeat yourself? Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism. But there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
You're talking about the locker room problem.
Hina, if If you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well, that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me. Surely you're not. Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her? And if I do? Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Not really making a good case for himself right now. Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone do such a clear clue like a quicksand? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine. Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit.
There's nobody else to suspect.
Hang on. Pause for a second. Alright, well, I need a second to finish this. But so let me ask you, what does all this mean?
Byakuya did it?
Byakuya did it?
Yeah. But
how?
yeah, that I don't know. I figured maybe Hina like told Sakura to block the door. I don't know. I do not know. It's a bit of a...
It's good. I continue to, knowing what happens, I continue to be impressed at the way they
Fake you out and...
yeah. Because, when I played these, except for the first one probably, which is just pretty obvious. Like, all you need to do is recognize that the dying message says Leon.
Well, I knew whatever one Byakuya was going to be responsible for one would have had to be pretty complex.
I think this one, well, I mean, it's debatable, but I think this one might be the most twisty, because this is the one where it's like 3 different people have already confessed to killing her,
My only guess at the beginning was going to be that Toko, Hiro, and Byakuya were all going to be involved in it somehow.
Yeah.
Even if they weren't like accomplices,
Yeah,
they
well,
would have all gone into the rec room at some point.
That's the thing. They all are, like, very involved with it. Like, the second one, the one with Mondo and Chihiro, where Byakuya alters the crime scene, that's the closest thing to this, where you have, like...
A lot of people putting their fingerprint on it.
Multiple people at different times involved with the same crime scene. But this one is a more complicated version of that. Okay, so I made a boboli. It needs like 5 minutes to cool down. You want to have any?
No, that's okay.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm probably going to eat when I go home.
Okay. The offer's there. It's a good one. Alright, well. Needs to cool for 5 minutes anyway.
Alright.
So we'll resume.
can you see this beautiful bubbly and not want to have some?
That is nice.
Yeah, they're good. Okay, let's go. Nicely in the frame. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could possibly have done it. Go ahead, Tina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison. And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf? Yeah, when I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot. I see. Okay then, go on. So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
The story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison, then you went to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
If that's true, isn't that a little strange?
Can you
repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy. It's the same no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
How long? Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the full truth of this case.
First, I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison. And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf? Yeah, when I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it. Okay, and then? I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate it?
In that chem lab, where were the footprints and what direction were they facing? Yeah. Got it. That's wrong. You said you went to get the poison from Section C, and that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah, what about it?
And after that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
What?
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movement.
No, that can't be it. Remember what Nina just said?
Yeah, or whatever. I didn't notice I left my country together. Ah! What the? Tina, what's the meaning of this? Well, you lied to us, plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A. So you never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A. Well, you see... What the hell? What's going on here? And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account. What? Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence. New evidence? Impossible. There can't be. Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me. I did? It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you of all people would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight. Just say it already. What is it you think you found? I found this.
Piece of glass.
It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle. and the hidden clue was exposed thanks to you injecting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you, so thank you for that. But, what is it? Oh, you still don't realize? Well then. Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Huh? Maybe.
Fine, if you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
The shard of white blue glass Kyoko found in the bottle of poison. I think I remember now. I broke something the same shade of blue. Got it. Part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that, so I think that must be it. Right, must be. Of course, that leads to another question. Oh.
How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison? What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that according to what Nina told us, where was it the bottle of poison should have been when I broke the rec room window? According to what Nina Got it. Bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That's what you said, right, Nina? And it somehow took the glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Then everything Hina told us was a lie.
In reality, that bottle of poison was definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, the locked room was unlocked. Another way to explain the presence of that glass in the bottle.
And then, once the room was open, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was open. In other words, after Sakura died. Wait, hold on, you're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned? I don't know, Sam, how did she? You're right, we do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here. Oh? It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that? What are you talking about? Is this some kind of a loaded question? Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability. Well, no. Not that I remember.
Yeah, me neither.
Not me. Same here. Yeah, me either. Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was open. Oh, come on. How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
The reason she can say that is because there's evidence. There's proof that someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was open.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it after we got the door open? No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to have been there before the rec room was unlocked.
I'm kind of confused by this one.
Well, there's two.
I mean, that's a contradiction.
Yeah. So you just need the relevant clip. You got three. If you want, you might want to check your notes. They sometimes have more detail on exactly what the three are.
We're just gonna try some. Oh, got it. That's wrong. remember how there was a broken glass shattered all around the room, right? Of course you can.
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the room. There's some pieces underneath it.
What?
This proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the door was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier, when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it. If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
Because everyone about it eliminated that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab. If that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there? You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is exactly what happened. Then tell us already. Sorry. Please tell us. Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room. It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre. What do you think, Makoto?
When we got the poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room, it had to have been Sakura. Got it. I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way! On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poison. You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that?
No, it's not a lie. Sakura definitely went to Section C. Kyoko already showed me the evidence section. I can hit Hina with it, and I can make her accept it. Remember, you have to choose the right one.
have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
Just give me one, then. Hina, did you know that Sakura spit a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did, the same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? The powder was found on Sakura. What else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot? And it was only her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. The person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, it's Sakura. Sakura dropped the bottle. She dropped it away from where she was actually standing. So she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. The powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instead. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained. No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
No, you didn't kill her. When I killed Sakura, the connection between Sakura and the poison and itself mystery of the locked room. There's only one way to explain it. Got it. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
Ah.
That might be good. Pause.
Okay, you
What
want to
is-
stop there?
Yeah. I mean, I thought at the beginning that was a pretty distinct possibility, especially when they show her flashback to what she was saying.
What was she saying?
Like, I'm gonna end it
Oh,
here.
yeah. Uh-huh.
But I thought they would still have an actual...
Well, and it's good too because I like what they do with Byakuya because he's not blind because he's an idiot. Like, he doesn't get it wrong because he is an idiot. He gets it wrong because he can't imagine a scenario.
that someone wouldn't kill someone else.
Right, exactly, where someone would like sacrifice themselves rather than another person. Right?
So this is just another situation where he wanted to create chaos.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat. No, I mean, I think if you look at it, I think he believed what he was saying. And I mean, we haven't